Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday Night Football, preseason week 3, and there are starting offenses out on the field. What the chicken jockey is happening right now? I don't know. It's Ding, your host, and we're going to talk about the top 20 quarterbacks tonight. But before we jump into that, let's talk about the big news. Brian Robinson gets traded to San Francisco for a 6th-round draft pick. And you thought CMC was healthy. I'm telling you, you got to listen to me. Twitter was afire. I'm going back and forth with people. They're like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Dude, CMC is hurt, man. He is hurt. He's not going to play a full season, half season at best. You pick him in the first round, you are going down. I'm just letting you know. Good luck. Let's get to it. Top 20 quarterbacks. Some names are going to look familiar in the same places as last year. Some are going to be different. I'm going to throw a few surprises out there, so get ready. At number 1, I have Lamar Jackson. Easy pick here. 559 points last year. I don't think he gets as many points as he did last year. This foot injury thing, it's a big to-do about nothing, but in the big picture, he's going to be number 1 overall. His running and passing ability, the weapons he has around him, and Henry helps him move the ball, give him the best opportunities. At number 2, I have Joe Burrow. He was number 2 last year. I will say, though, I think that Joe Burrow could be number 1 this year. I see Burrow going over 5,000 yards passing. That would be an epic year for him. Now, his touchdown to intercept ratio from last year, 43-9, that was just amazing. I'm not sure he can beat that. A little bit more passing yards, maybe an extra touchdown here or there, and he could overtake Lamar Jackson. At number 3, I have Josh Allen. Now, Josh Allen, he played well last year. He was in the MVP race. I mean, it was all about him. He went in, he ran for every touchdown he could possibly get. He stole every single touchdown from all of his wide receivers. He did give a bunch to Cook, which was really surprising. But, then they didn't want to pay Cook. Sidebar there. But the big picture is Josh Allen was all about himself last year. He's going to be all about himself this year. What did they do in the draft? They went 6 straight rounds of defensive players. Okay, so they didn't really improve the offense at all. So what can Josh Allen do this year? About the same as he did last year. I don't really see him getting any numbers better. He might actually fall back a little bit. I know I have him at 3, but he could find himself at 4 or 5, depending on how the team does this year. So look out. At number 4, I have Daniels. Now, we watched him in the preseason. He looks really good. He's got a young tailback, though. I still love college football, but he does have a young running back. We don't know what McLaurin's issue is and if he's going to play. And that's really the biggest thing. I'm going to put an asterisk next to Daniels here. If McLaurin doesn't come back, Daniels falls outside of the top 10. He really doesn't have anyone to throw to. Deebo Samuel is not the guy he used to be. Great player. But he is not. Just be honest with yourself when it comes to that. But if McLaurin comes back, he's got a great shot at being the number 4 overall. At number 5, I have Jared Goff. And I see this as a ceiling for Goff. I don't think he does any better than he did last year, which was a number 5 finish. Great season, 37 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 4,600 yards. Epic season for him. I just don't see how he gets it any more than that. Gibbs, incredible player. He's going to rush for a lot of touchdowns. Montgomery's still there. He's still got the same weapons. So I don't really see him overplaying what he did last year, and their schedule's a bit tougher. Take it with a grain of salt. I think, Jared Goff, great player. He's going to finish number 5 probably overall, but it's possible he could drop down a few from here. But really good draft capital here because for Goff, you're getting him in the 7th round, and he's going to finish in the top 5. At number 6, I have Baker Mayfield. Now, Baker surprised everyone with the number 3 finish last year. That wasn't really a surprise to me. He's got great weapons. This year, he has Evans and Egbuka. Unfortunately, Godwin, I don't think he's going to play. If you're drafting him, you might as well give your money to your friends. And then they lost McMillan to a neck injury. We don't know when that kid's going to come back. So at this point, he's lost a lot of weapons. Bucky Irving is there. He's great, but the team's a little bit banged up. So I don't think that Baker Mayfield can match what he did last year. Just a superb season with 41 touchdowns and 16 interceptions, 4,500 passing. Those are great numbers. I just think that was a ceiling for him. I see him falling, so that's why I have him at 6. At number 7, I have Bo Nix. Now, it's not a big surprise because Bo was 8 last year. So moving up a spot, yes. I think his total number of points increase, definitely. So he's looking at, last year he didn't even hit 30 touchdowns. So I'm thinking 35 touchdowns, 4,200 yards. Maybe he cleans up the interceptions. That's a really solid 7, and he might push 6 or 5. He might even beat Goff, depending on how successful he is. And that really, the key there is Sutton. At number 8, I have Justin Herbert. So I find Justin Herbert coming back into the top 10 from last year. He had a rough year. Incredibly efficient. just no mistakes. 23 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. What a great year. But only 3,800 yards passing. Now he gets Keenan Allen. He's got Ladd McConkey. I mean, between the two of those guys, great hands. I see a high percentage of passes, a little bit more touchdowns. Let's hope that Amari Hampton comes in and gives them kind of that boost that Najee isn't doing while he's walking laps at practice. Terrible. At number 9, I have Jalen Hurts. Tush Push is back. He's still going to be in the top 10. That's where he gets all his touchdowns. 18 touchdowns last year, 5 interceptions in the passing game. But he runs the ball very well. A lot of Tush Push touchdowns. That's not going away. Philly is still going to be dominant on the offensive side of the ball. So I see him still finishing in the top 10. At number 10, I have Geno Smith. This is a little bit of a shocker. He's going to jump about 5 spots to get himself to the 10th spot here. He moves to a better situation, in my opinion. Brock Bowers, much better athlete than he had in Seattle. Jacoby Myers, outstanding wide receiver. And now he's got Janty, a really good running back behind him. And his schedule's pretty good. I see this sets up really well for Geno. I think he's going to go and push about 30 touchdowns, probably 4,500 yards, and that's going to put him in the solid 10. At number 11, I have Mahomes. Now, Mahomes looked good tonight in preseason. Yeah, it's preseason. It was against the Bears. Hey, where did that 38-0 Bears team go? Yeah, everybody was like, oh, this is our year. Yeah, no, it's not. I digress. Mahomes, he even hit a deep ball. I was really proud of him. I don't think he can hit the deep ball anymore. Rice was out there. He's probably not going to be on the team. Worthy, he missed him. Standard. And then he hit Tyquan Thornton. Is that dude even going to play? I don't know. Kelsey dropped the ball. So I think that is an absolute precursor to what the season's going to be. Plus, they have to go overseas to play the first game. What a joke. This is the NFL. This isn't like the South American Football League, for crying out loud. Sidebar over. Sorry. Mahomes at number 11. That's the best he's going to do, especially with all the injuries, the guys he's losing to possible suspension and otherwise. At number 12, I had Dak Prescott. I think Dak has a bounce back year. This is a good opportunity for him. If he can stay healthy, he can throw to CeeDee Lamb. He's got Pickens. Ferguson is back, and Ferguson's going to get touchdowns. The running backs are kind of a train wreck. I don't know if Javante's going to take the starting. I think he is, but who knows what's going to happen there. So they're going to lean on Dak a lot, and I think he can take that pressure as long as he doesn't get hurt. At number 13, it pains me to say it, but I'm going to say Sam Darnold. Why? Because Sam Darnold's in another good situation. He's got JSN on one side. He's got Kupp on the other side. He's got 2 great running backs, decent defense, subpar O-line, and a good schedule. So I think this sets up well for him. He's got 2 really good alpha receivers. Yeah, one of them's, Kupp in the end of his prime, but still amazing receivers. So I don't know how he can go wrong. If he was sitting in Minneapolis right now, he would have Jefferson banged up, Addison suspended, Naylor hurt, and now they're hoping to get Thielen. He's got to be feeling good about himself right now, honestly, that he's outside of Minnesota. At number 14, this is going to be a weird one. I'm going with Penix from Atlanta. I think that he turns my number 5 wide receiver overall, Drake London, into a superstar. Now, everyone's like, well, he's already a superstar ding. Yeah, I got that. But I think Drake London pushes double-digit touchdowns, maybe 1,800 yards. I know that sounds crazy, but with Mooney out, you got Ray-Ray McCloud, and then you got Bijan Robinson. Well, he's got to be able to throw to somebody, and London can be dominant if he can stay healthy. So let's figure it out. We haven't seen a full season from Penix yet, right? So Penix, he gives 1,500 to Drake London. He gives 800, maybe even 1,000 to Bijan. There's 2,500 of your passing yards right there. Another 800, 850 to Ray-Ray McCloud, which is about what he did last year. And then maybe another 500, 600 to another couple of running backs. Pretty soon, he's pushing high 3,000 yards, like 3,800, 3,900. Vegas has him tapped for 3,600. Now it really comes down to the touchdowns. Well, he's surrounded by a bunch of guys who can get in the end zone. So let's give him a fair shake and say, 25 to 27 touchdowns, maybe 3,800 yards. He's going to finish 14. All right. At number 15, I have Drake May. I like Drake May. I was thinking he was going to push top 12 status, but I just don't see it this year. I know Diggs is great. Diggs makes him a much better player. He's going to push for almost 4,000 yards this year. He's going to push for over 30 touchdowns. Hunter Henry's there. He's got a young Henderson at running back that they hopefully will play. Douglas maybe has a better year. I think he's got the tools. If Diggs can stay healthy, this could be Drake Mazier and he could pop into the top 15. At number 16, I have CJ Stroud. I want to give him more credit. I want to push him more, but he's got Nico Collins on one side. Awesome. Alpha. But on the other side, he's got Christian Kirk, who just gets hurt all the time. His running back situation is a train wreck. He's got Chubb, who basically doesn't have a knee anymore. Mixon, who I don't know what's happening with his foot. Pierce, who just could never, ever score touchdowns. So they need to be able to move the ball. Their defense is kind of atrocious. It's kind of middle of the road. Every once in a while, they get a turnover, but he's going to have to make it happen. As long as Nico and Christian Kirk can stay healthy, he can be successful. But I just don't see him finishing past the 16. At 17, I have Matthew Stafford. I truly think that his back problems are catching up to him. Now, he's got two great receivers, Puka and Adams. He should roll. I mean, with Kyron Williams behind him, they're going to be able to move the ball. I'm just not sure he's going to play a whole season. I think these issues are going to really start to bother him, and he's going to probably play 12 to 14 games. That is a total guess. I don't know anything about injuries from that perspective. I mean, I know everything about back injuries, but for him, they're really keeping it close to the chest. Who knows how bad it is, but he's back at practice. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt. If he comes back, I think he easily plays to a 17 level. He might even push higher than that. At 18, I have Kyler Murray. Now, Kyler Murray, I think his accuracy is gone. He can't seem to hit Harrison. He peppers McBride because McBride is the underneath guy and he loves throwing those easy passes to him. So that's why McBride gets 150 targets. That should be reversed. Harrison should have 150 targets. McBride should have 100. That tells you what his accuracy and what his confidence in his arm is like. And that's why I have him here at 18. And I struggle with this. I almost wanted to drop him out of 20, but he's surrounded by really good players. And that gives him the ability to finish in the top 20. At number 19, I have Aaron Rodgers. No one knows exactly what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, but I see Pittsburgh as a defense first, running first kind of team. Yes, they brought in DK and they brought in Rodgers. So they have a vertical passing game. But DK really hasn't scored that many touchdowns in his entire career. And when Rodgers had Adams in the Jets, they really didn't seem to click until late in the season. I think that's going to happen again. He's never played with DK before, so there's going to be a struggle early on. And I think as the season continues, he'll get back into form if he can stay healthy. The defense is going to make turnovers. They're going to give him opportunities to score. But I think I see a lot of low-scoring games in his future, like he wasn't with the Jets. I don't see him throwing as much, and that's why he barely makes the top 20. And then in number 20, I have Brock Purdy. This is a huge fall for him. I mean, if you'd told someone at the beginning of the season that Brock Purdy is going to finish number 20, they probably would have laughed in your face. But he doesn't have a single receiver except for Pearsall. They're training for their 9th running back instead of going and get another wide receiver. And then you have Kittle. But Kittle, he's been getting injured a lot over the last couple of years. So if Kittle can't put together a full season, this is going to be a rough season for Purdy. At least he got paid. There's a couple of big names that I did not put on this list. I mean, Tua is one of them. And he's got Hill as a wide receiver. So you would think, man, he should do well. But he is one concussion away from just spending the rest of his days in a bed. I mean, I want the best for Tua. I've seen all of his concussions and they're awful. I hope he has a really safe season. The other big name I didn't mention was Caleb Williams. And there's a reason for that. He's awful. It's just that simple. If you watched him against KC tonight, that's why they paid $10 million to Bagent. Bagent will be starting for Chicago very soon. All right, to finish off the show, I want to talk about the ADP for these quarterbacks and what you need to watch out for. Jackson's going in the second round. That's kind of a no-brainer. It's a big price to pay for Jackson, but I could almost make the argument that he's worth it. I just can't see getting a quarterback in the second round. Allen's early in the third. Then there's Burrow and Daniels towards the end of the third. And I think Burrow, if you're going to go get a quarterback at the end of the third, that's the guy to target. That's really good value there. In the fourth, that's where Hurts goes. Mahomes is going in the fifth, and that's way early. I don't think he cracks the top 10. Mayfield in the sixth seems like a steal. Knicks in the sixth, that's about right. Kyler Murray in the seventh, what? Goff in the seventh, that's good value there. Caleb Williams is going in the eighth. Please, somebody in my league, take him. please. Dak Prescott in the 8th, and then you've got Purdy in the 8th and Hebert in the 8th. I like Justin Hebert in the 8th. That's really great value. I'm probably going to be targeting him. And then you have CJ Stroud, May in the 9th. Fields, which is a terrible pick. And then Love, another big name I didn't mention because he can't hit the broadside of the barn. He doesn't even have a barn to throw to because all of his wide receivers are hurt. Now, if you're looking for that second quarterback, or you're going to go heavy running back, then all wide receiver, and you're going to wait on a quarterback, wait until you get close to the 10th round and take Penix. He's going to be there, and you're going to run your league. You could combo him with Stafford in the 11th, and those two quarterbacks, you might win it all. Well, that's our show for tonight. As always, we're going to give a shout out to the men and women in uniform who protect the freedoms that we hold dear. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. And last, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this show, follow us on X, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts to stay up to date on our latest content. And until then, remember, established dominance isn't just a catchphrase, it's a commitment. Are you ready?